Hi, Jessica of DIY Chinese Medicine, and I just want to talk to you a little bit for the ladies about cough, sneeze, pee. You know, it's something that a lot of people don't really want to talk about, but incontinence, and there's different kinds of incontinence. There's full incontinence where you're just not able to hold the urine, and I'm talking about urinary incontinence right now. And then there's also stress incontinence where you're sneezing or coughing. You know what I'm talking about. And whether you've had a child or not, it can happen. Actually, for me, I noticed some of this when I was really young, actually, even as like a teen, preteen actually. And I just want to let you know that there are some really great solutions and things that I've found over time. So I'm here to share. So I'm going to talk about exercises. I'm going to talk about some points you can do. And then the other thing is you can just use this video. But if you're willing to support me and purchase the DIY Chinese Medicine books, it gives me the chance to write more books like that. And in the books, if you look at the back pain one, or the anxiety has one some, but also the headache one. But basically, I look at the back pain one. And if you look under the kidney and spleen areas, you'll find points and herbs in there that will also help, because in Chinese medicine, when the yang qi has gone down, that is when incontinence is more likely to happen. So there's things in there you can do. Some of the points for the kidney channel are shenjiang. You'll look and you'll see the Chinese terms as well. So I would recommend also looking into those, treating the kidney with those, and we can also go over some points today here. That's just a little. If you want to support me more, I appreciate it. But if you aren't in that position, or that's not what you want to do, get what you can out of today. I've got the video course associated with the ebooks. Talk about, a lot of people use Kegels or Kegels, they say in different ways, where you're trying to like squeeze inside that vaginal canal to be able to strengthen the pelvic floor, to be able to hold everything. As we age, our yang qi, which is our rising energy in the body, begins to go down. Everything's going down, right? Like our face sometimes, everything's kind of going down. I kind of joke, it's like the hair starts going down, our energy is a little bit lower, maybe our mental capacity might be lower, and also organs start to go down. And that includes the bladder and sometimes other organs. And with that, if we can build the yang qi back up. So the Kegels are there to strengthen the energy, to bring it back up. But there's another really important aspect. And that important aspect is the shape of your pelvis. So sometimes people don't realize it, but you know, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but for some people as they get older, myself, but also just watching other people, the shape of the butt starts to change. It's no longer as round, it's getting more flat. And with that, you start to, the muscles that are holding the pelvis in more of a shape begin to slack, and you're getting this looseness. And so you can do all the Kegels in the world, but if your pelvis is losing its shape, it's really hard to keep that vitality up and heading upwards and keep everything solid. I've seen this so many times with people. So in the Qigong exercises that we do squats and sound exercises as well. You don't have to add the sound in, it just feels really good and it releases tension. And I would like to say what helps support the kidney, since in the Chinese medicine sense, the shenjiang, what really helps that? Well, one thing is a sense of freedom, actually, if we're talking about the emotional aspects. Also, not being scared. I don't know if you've noticed, but you pee sometimes when you're scared, or you feel like you're gonna pee, or you do. You've seen it in the movies, or you've done it yourself. I have. And that would be part of my preteen thing. I would get nervous, and then I couldn't control my urine. It was embarrassing and hard. I hope you haven't been there, but if you have, you know what it's like. And so learning how to feel more free, so some of the exercise with the Qigong gives you a little bit of that sense. And also feeling like you have direction and passion in life too. So finding things that feel relaxing and non-stressful, but you feel like are moving you forward, or something you really have drive or passion for, also helps keep that vitality. And I think that's also where we get this sense of purpose. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the exercises, but I do want to tell you some of this information because I think it's important. You know, in longevity, if you study the blue zones, which I've mentioned in the video series and here and there on the Facebook, the Blue Zones is a really great research tool and information. They also have food, all kinds of things that you can look at on there. But if you'll notice, the people who are living a long time have a sense of passion and purpose in their life. And that's where the kidney and the bladder hold that for you. And so I wouldn't be surprised, as I'm doing this video during lockdown and the pandemic, I wouldn't be surprised if there could be some more stress, incontinence actually developing. And I've had a few people mention it to me a little bit more, so that's also why I'm doing this right now. All right, so first of all, always eating clean. You can look at the books. Some are free too. If you look at the DIY Chinese medicine site, I think the back pain one is on there that you can just download without having to pay anything. But there's food suggestions there, just in general. Those are always good. Also, nuts and seeds, if you can tolerate those, are really, really great for the kidney. So in Chinese medicine, the black sesame seeds are amazing. Also, black cumin can be really helpful. And in the Western herbs and stuff, sage is really great. Also, Ophiopogon is really great. So sage, salvia, officinalis. You'll see if you look at any of those, the ebook stuff. I'm not trying to press the ebooks, but just in case you're looking at them, you'll see that salvia is not something you should use if you're trying to get pregnant or are pregnant. But outside of that, it's an amazing herb. So, so some of those things are really helpful. There's other herbs specifically for the bladder. We don't have to go into all those right now because sometimes that's nervous bladder or infection. So that's not exactly what I'm talking about right now. So we won't necessarily go into all that. But cinnamon bark is really helpful. It also helps with regulating insulin, which is really helpful too. So these are kind of things we're doing to build the yang qi. Points to help out. And I'll see how we're gonna get this to show you. But I showed one before, kidney one. Look at that, I'm on 1 foot. Okay, yeah, I have dirt on my feet. All right, kidney one here is really helpful. But then also, I'm gonna tilt this. If you go from the ankle up, just a couple finger breaths from the ankle, I'm gonna move this so you can see a little bit better. Aha, let's see if we got this. All right, so if you're right here, and you'll see there's gonna be a divot right here, that's kidney 3. You could start with pressing here. So we could start with the kidney 1 that I just showed you, and then go into kidney 3, and then take your finger breaths, 2 finger breaths, and go towards the tendon back here. I have a pretty big divot. That means I probably need some help with my kidney yang. It's more of a constitutional thing. So you can press right there. So if you wanna go through in the evenings and just spend a little time taking care of yourself, you can press there, and there, and there. Okay. All right, I wanna show you the exercise part. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get my legs to where it's a comfortable place to be a squat. So just try that out, just see how that feels. Just, we're doing more than just the squat. And there's actually more exercises that I do with people, but I'm just gonna focus on the most important, efficient ones for the urinary system and for holding our system strong. We do currently have a free Zoom Qigong class, Pacific time, 8 a.m. to 8:30. And information's floating around there somewhere about that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go into the squat, and we're just gonna practice for a moment. I wanna show you what we're gonna do. So what we'll be doing is coming up, so we're gonna get the whole body up, which opens this area. We're gonna get up, take a nice breath in, and I'm gonna make a sound. Be ready? Ha! And this is an old exercise. Once we're down here, when I'm coming out with that breath, there's a pulling up from the pelvis just a little bit, but that's not the focus. The focus is down and out. I'm using my gluteal muscles, and I'm doing these exercises to keep the shape of my pelvis, okay? So we'll do a few of these together. Ha! 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 And so I'm giving you the idea, I do a lot of these. Like I'll just go through and do some of these, and it really helps move the breath. So there's a lot of detoxification, emotional detoxification. So we're talking about any stress that you might be holding can come out, especially stress around fear, as well as it detoxes the liver some. But then you're gonna have to be careful because you're gonna wanna come down and have some oomph to it, but be able to hold. So we'll do that again. Ha! 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 Okay, those are the exercises. I sometimes will do 50, 100, even in a day, and it sounds like a lot, but you really get used to it. Even when I was just doing class twice a week, and we would do a whole series, that was enough to really help my system. As I said, I was someone who, as a kid, would have incontinent issues, very embarrassing, and even in class when I was in elementary school, it's horrible. It's horrible to be the kid that there's a puddle under your desk. I know, really embarrassing. And yet, so I'm just saying, I'm super prone to these issues, and forgive me for kind of scooching around here. I'm super prone to these issues. A lot of mine did have to do with fear and genetics, but even after that, being that prone and having 2 kids, vaginal births, and being in my 40s upwards, I can say that after sitting around and chatting with other ladies at like a get together, I'm not having the issues they're having, either with the incontinence or with sometimes sex and kind of responsiveness in sex. I feel like that I've really, through these exercises of building that yang qi up, that kind of and also doing the squats, I've really helped save myself from a lot of discomfort and continued embarrassment. So I really hope this is helpful, and thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions at all. My goal is to help you with whatever information you need, and those questions are so helpful when people ask them. All right, take care.